Start, Mr. President, the significant advancement of the UN's reform agenda this year in an area that is clearly a priority of our times, gender equality and women's empowerment, is a matter of satisfaction to my delegation, particularly given the proactive role played by India in the negotiations. I wish to reiterate our strong commitment for UN Women and its strengthening. The review of the Human Rights Council this year should contribute to the Council's role as an effective and credible mechanism. UN peacekeeping and peace building and flagship activities in the core area of maintaining international peace and security require a new global compact based on greater inclusiveness and participation in the decision making process. India has contributed over 1 lakh peacekeepers in nearly every major UN peacekeeping operation. It stands committed to UN peacekeeping. Another area in which the UN has a key role is humanitarian assistance. It is important that international humanitarian actions fully subscribe to the humanitarian principles of neutrality, humanity, and impartiality. The capacities of the UN to manage development operations need to be augmented, and the funding for these needs based activities, especially core untied funding, required manifold increase. It is also imperative that the UN and its funds and programs not advance particular ideological objectives linked to preferences of donors but align themselves squarely behind national priorities of developing countries. India, within its means, has consistently contributed to the developmental and humanitarian activities of the UN, including by way of South South cooperation through NEPAD and the India Brazil South Africa IBSA Trust Fund with the UNDP. Mahatma Gandhi once described poverty as the worst form of violence. With only 5 years left until the 2015 deadline to achieve the Millennium Development Goals, there is an ever greater need to ensure that firm and time bound commitments, including on the provision of resources, transfer of technology, and capacity building, are made if extreme poverty, illiteracy, hunger, and disease are to be effectively curtailed. My government accords the highest priority to the attainment of the Millennium Development Goals. We in India understand that there can be no peace and progress unless poverty is eliminated and the fruits of development and progress shared among all countries and people. In this context, we believe that special attention needs to be focused on the least developed countries, the landlocked developing countries, the small island developing states, the African countries, and others who are vulnerable and need special support to make them institutionally strong and economically resilient to overcome their myriad challenges.